Be prepared for a lot of tapping. We are going to tap our butts off. Literally and figuratively. Because I'm not sure how this will translate into Croatian, but it's the butts like, I want to be successful, but I want to be in a relationship, but I'm going to work out, but. So it's, what are those buts? And that's what we want to clear out. Although I have to say, my wife and I were just taking a dip in the water earlier, and I've been dedicated to EFT for a quarter of a century now, but I may switch to Adriatic therapy. Just floating there. I believe someone, I had posted a picture about Croatia, and someone had replied on Instagram and taught me a new word, and I don't know the pronunciation, fiaka? I have experienced fiaka. So maybe we can get to sort of that, some of that Zen feeling here. Is there anyone here who is not familiar with EFT tapping? Why weren't you at my introduction the other day? I taught it all then. Now you just have to guess and follow along. No. So, real brief Reader's Digest condensed version of EFT. For thousands of years in Chinese medicine, they have said there's a flow of energy through the body along these pathways called meridians. When this energy is flowing naturally, we experience our natural state of health and well-being, physically and emotionally. When this energy gets stuck or disrupted in some way, we don't feel so good. We don't think as clearly, we don't make the best choices, there's all kinds of unfortunate consequences for that. So thousands of years ago in Chinese medicine, they found that by sticking needles in these key points, they could stimulate that healthy flow of energy and feel much better. About 1980, a psychologist named Roger Callahan found that by tapping on these points, he could clear out emotional disturbances. Called it thought field therapy. Had a very complicated system of figuring out which 3 points to tap in which order depending on the issue. And one of his first students, Gary Craig, who had his degree in engineering from Stanford, said, "This is too complicated, let's simplify it. There's 8 points that we're tapping. If we just tap them in a row from top to bottom, let's see what happens." And was much simpler, so that's what we do. And that's emotional freedom techniques, EFT, and a lot of us just call it tapping. So what I am doing is not necessarily what would be called official EFT. Gary Craig will say so. But so we call it tapping. So the idea is that by tapping on these points, we clear out these energetic disturbances. We have a growing body of scientific research showing the benefits of this, primarily in terms of stress relief. So we've seen like cortisol, which is one of the primary stress hormones. During the tapping, we've seen that cortisol levels dramatically reduce. We have seen fMRI studies. We can see the brain scans, and you can see where the brain activity is hyperactive, and then after tapping, it normalizes. So, you know, for many years, many of us tapping just knew that it felt good, but now we have scientific evidence showing, oh yes, there is actually something going on. It's not just in our imaginations. So in terms of clearing what stops us from being luminaries, in terms of what stops us from living our best lives, when we look at changes, we have a stress response. We have a lot of ideas about what we want. We put them on our vision board. We say, oh yes, there's my dream vacation, my dream home, and all that. And so we try to manifest, we try to feel really good about that. The issue is that part of us has resistance to that. And so we say, oh, it's fine to put the picture up on the vision board, but we're gonna make sure it never happens. So we unconsciously block ourselves. As you've heard many of the speakers talking about, 95% of the mind is unconscious. That subconscious mind that has all of that old programming, all of those old reasons why you couldn't or shouldn't be healthy, rich, in a relationship, all these different things. So we brilliantly stop ourselves. That's why I always say that self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love. Every time you stop yourself from going on a date, making more money, getting healthier, that's because part of your mind is saying, that would not be safe. Remember what happened the last time you felt better? Remember the last time you were in a relationship and you got your heart broken? Remember the last time you had money and then all of your friends hated you? So we protect ourselves. It's brilliant. I always said that if I ever did a TED Talk, my talk would be called, "Your Self-Sabotage is Brilliant. Now knock it off." So this is my little TED Talk. It's not read, but... So I have 18 minutes, right? I can't do a TED Talk because you have to have a very prepared 18 minutes, and you have to rehearse it until it's perfect. I'm not going to be creating this. We are going to create what happens here over the next 3 hours. As I said, we're going to be doing a lot of tapping. It can be very intense for some folks. You are not held captive here. This is not a lecture where there's a beginning, middle, and end, and if you leave at some point, you're never going to know what happens. Because everyone who stays is sworn to secrecy. The secret of the universe. Oh, we did it in the last 5 minutes. So, as you feel necessary, feel free to excuse yourself if you have to let go. Hopefully, you're just going to feel more and more relaxed and feel a whole lot better. What else do I need to tell you about EFT? So I'm not going to show you. You can learn about EFT online. Just do what I do. I'm going to take the fingertips of our index and middle finger. We'll tap on the side of the hand here when we do the setup phrase. Now, the setup phrase, and I forgot to mention this the other day, the setup phrase is often a negative statement. So, like, even though I'm really angry at Bob, I choose to love and accept myself. And when I first introduce EFT to people, some people say, "Oh no, you can't say a negative thing. You have to only talk about what's positive." What you resist persists. If you have a beautiful living room with a beautiful carpet, and you have a beautiful dog, and your beautiful dog leaves a not-so-beautiful gift on your carpet, you don't stand there and say, "I'm only going to look at where the carpet is clean. I have a beautiful carpet." One, you're kidding yourself, because part of your brain is very focused on the gift. Two, you're going to step in it and spread it around. So it's not a matter of sitting there and saying, "Oh, there's poop on my carpet." It's a matter of saying, "Look, there's poop. I'm going to clean it up, and then I don't have to worry about it." So that's what we're doing with tapping. We're saying, even though there's this poop, I choose to love and accept myself, and I want to clear that out so that I am then free to feel better, do better, and live better. Are we game for that? Awesome. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now, just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Go ahead and feel whatever part of you is connected to something, your feet, your butt, your back, whatever is connected to something solid, assuming you're not levitating. Go ahead and feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from our time together. And just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of how you're feeling right now. Maybe rating yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. In this case, it's a positive scale, so 10 is magnificent, awesome, fantastic, super. I've heard that word a lot here. And do not judge yourself harshly if the number is lower than you'd like it to be. Just allow yourself to be curious about it. So, oh, isn't that interesting? I know we're on day 5 of the Luminary Summit, so you may all be at 11 already. But just in case you're not, allow yourself to be aware of what that feels like. Notice what you feel physically, what you feel emotionally. Anything that is stopping you from being at a 10, just getting curious. Allow yourself to be aware of any thoughts, beliefs, or memories that might be involved in that. Just notice what might stop you from feeling as good as possible. And if you're at 10, why not 11? I like to say that the extent to which we don't have what we say we want tends to be the extent to which we're resisting it. This is true of money, love, health, and just feeling good. So the extent to which you're not at a 10 right now, at some level is the extent to which you're resisting it, not because you're bad or stupid, but because something inside of you is holding on to something, feels a need to hold on to something. Just allow yourself to be aware of what that might be. Get curious. Feel where it is in your body. Maybe notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how intense that feeling or that thought might be. That less than luminous feeling, that less than blissful feeling. It might be fear, it might be doubt, shame, guilt, anger, sadness. Just allow yourself to be aware of what's in there. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. So with the tapping process, I'll be starting off with the setup phrase. I'll be tapping on the side of my hand here. And I'll say the phrase, and I'll have you repeat it back. Could be a little challenging with the translation, because we'll be a little bit off sync. But we're going to make it work. So I'll say a phrase, you'll repeat it back, and we'll do the setup phrase 3 times. So the setup phrase is, even though I have this issue, I choose to love and accept myself. The original version was, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and some people just couldn't say that. So by saying, I choose to love and accept myself, gives us a little bit of a buffer there. And then, so basically what we're saying is, even though I have this issue, even though I'm not feeling entirely fine right now, I choose to love and accept myself. And then we'll say the issue, in basic EFT, you just repeat the issue here on each point. We'll tap each point, 5 to 10 times, maybe a little longer. So say this issue, right here, this is right here at the beginning of your eyebrow, on either side. You can tap with either hand on either side. You can even tap with both hands at the same time. I can't because... So first point is right here at the beginning of the eyebrow. Follow your eyebrow out to the side of your eye, right there at the corner of your eye socket is the next point. And we'll repeat the phrase there. Then right under the middle of your eye, just above your cheek. Next point is just under your nose. Just under your lower lip, just above your chin. Next point is right where your collarbones just about come together. There's a little bit of a U shape at the base of your throat. And if you can use all of your fingertips or make a fist and tap over that area and get both of those points there. Next point is about 4 inches below your armpit. It's right about bra strap level, and I'm sure even the guys can figure out where that is. And finally, the top of the head. So with all of your fingertips tapping on the crown of your head, just little circles around the crown of your head. And then you take a deep breath. So, with an issue, as I said, you rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. So if the issue was, I'm really angry at Bob, I'd say, even though I'm angry at Bob, I choose to love and accept myself. Anger at Bob, anger at Bob, anger at Bob. And then I take a deep breath and say, okay, now how angry am I? If it was an 8 before, sometimes it'll go from an 8 to a 0 like that. Usually takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it'll just go from an 8 to a 7.75. But any little bit of relief we get in terms of stress is beneficial. Because when we feel stressed, our prefrontal cortex goes offline. We don't think as clearly. We're not making good choices. So any bit of freedom we get is good. And often when we're tapping, it's like peeling the layers of the onion. So we might be tapping along, this anger at Bob, this anger at Bob, this... It's not Bob. It's Cindy. In the 3rd grade, Cindy took my favorite toy. So now I'm clearing what's going on, all the stuff I've been holding on to for decades. And I make it so much relief that I may say thank you to Bob later. Thank you for bringing up this decades-old issue. So that's the basic version of it, but now we're gonna have some fun with it. So, real quickly, close your eyes again. Check in again with whatever it was that might have been keeping you from being at a 10. Anything that might be upsetting you. Any fears you might have. What stops you from being, doing, and having what you really want? Notice where it is in your body. Scale is 0 to 10, how strong it is. Take a deep breath. Let it go. And now we will begin. Even though I'm feeling this resistance, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling this resistance, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I'm feeling this resistance, might not feel like resistance, might feel like fear, might feel like anger, might feel like sadness, but it's a resistance to feeling awesome. I'd rather feel awesome, but part of me isn't ready for that. Part of me thinks I need to resist that. And even though I'm resisting that, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved. Because I choose to feel that free. Now we're going to go through the different points. All this resistance to feeling better, all this fear of feeling better. And part of me might be saying, what's this guy talking about? Why would I be afraid of feeling good? That's the million-dollar question. Why do I spend so much time not feeling good when I have a lot of control over that? There may be some things in my life that I don't have absolute control over, but I get to decide how I feel. Unfortunately, I'm letting my unconscious mind decide most of the time. And it decides how I feel based on a lot of old programming about how I should feel. Because I've learned to feel that way in different circumstances. If someone says a certain thing to me, I get to feel good. But if they say something different, I am required by law to feel bad. There are times when I'm walking around and I'm miserable. It's not my fault. Them's the rules. I have to feel bad in this circumstance. So whatever I'm feeling right now that isn't feeling awesome, part of me says I have to feel this way. There's a committee in my head. And they're saying, oh, it would be great to feel good. But look at what's happening. It's just not possible to feel good. There's stuff going on in politics. There are wars going on. There's famine going on. Somebody cut me off in traffic. I should be miserable. But the thing is, if we were required to be miserable, anytime somebody else is in distress, there'd be no such concept as joy. Round the clock, somewhere, somebody is having a bad day or a bad moment. If I had to feel bad every time someone else was feeling bad, I would never have known joy. And I choose to love and appreciate those parts of me that want to be a good person. And I have a lot of old programming about how a good person feels bad when others are having a bad time. And I choose to process that. If I am feeling uncomfortable right now, to be in solidarity with somebody else, I love and appreciate the intention. But if somebody else is suffering, they need positive energy. I can't feel bad enough to make anyone else feel good. I can't be sick enough to make anyone else healthy. I can't be broke enough to make anyone else wealthy. The better I feel, the more I raise my vibration, the more luminous I am, the more I lighten up the world. I'm allowing myself to consider that this might be more helpful. And part of me might be saying, oh yeah, that's easy to say, but you don't know what's going on for me. You don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know what's going on in my country. You don't know what's going on in my body. I do know something that's going on in your body. A disturbance in the energy system. No matter what is going on in my life, how I feel about it is in my energy system. The Stoics have always said, what upsets us is not what happened, but our thoughts about what happens. I choose to change my mind about some things. And that upset is that disturbance in my energy system. And I'm calming that down right now. Releasing that disturbance. I choose to be open to the possibility that it's okay to feel good. Even with everything that's going on, it's okay to feel good. I'm open to the possibility that with everything that's going on, it's really beneficial for me to feel good. As many people have said this week, everything is energy. We are all connected. So as I raise my vibration, I'm raising the vibration of the collective. And that's something I can feel good about. Clearing what doesn't feel like peace. Clearing what doesn't feel like love. Clearing what doesn't feel like light. letting that go. Setting myself free to feel really good. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Go inside. For those of you who are new to EFT, I'm sorry that these rounds are so long. Some of you may only be familiar with much shorter tapping rounds. I tend to go on because it's the thoughts that come through. But with your eyes closed, just check in and notice what's going on. Check in with those places where you might have been feeling some resistance, some discomfort. And if you remember what you rated that at on a scale of 0 to 10, notice that that's come down. And to the extent that something else might still be there, just notice what might be there. I can't feel good because ... Go ahead and focus on any area of life that you may be particularly interested in. It could be your health, it could be your finances, it could be your relationships. And go ahead and imagine, just with your eyes closed, imagine a vision board of that. What your ideal life looks like. What life at a 10 on that positive scale, a magnificent life looks like. You know, overall or in one particular area. And just paying attention to what you feel physically and emotionally. Say, it's safe for me to have this life. Just notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how true that feels. Say, it's possible for me to have this life. And again, notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong that feels. Still imagining life at a 10, this awesome life. Say, it's okay for me to have this life. And finally say, I deserve to have this life. And rate that on a scale of 0 to 10 as to how true that feels. And again, don't judge the numbers. Don't judge yourself for whatever numbers are coming up. Just allow yourself to get curious and say, oh, isn't that interesting? That part of me might feel it's not safe. That part of me might doubt that I deserve it. And just notice where you feel that in your body, how strong those feelings might be. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. So when I do these workshops, it's great because I never have to prepare the material because we're going to co-create it. So the first round is always on me. Now it's up to you guys. So in terms of what might be coming up that stops you from feeling awesome or from creating your best life, who has something that's coming up? I'll repeat. Okay. It's the concern that doing what it takes to create this awesome life would be exhausting. So that even if once she has successfully created all this, she'll be too tired to enjoy it. So many of us have that thought, and especially around money. You know, who heard that to make a lot of money you have to work really hard? Yeah, most people. The rest of you are lying. No. And it's not, I'm not averse to work. I believe we're here to be of service. You know, you can you can take fiacca too far. Yeah, so close your eyes, take a deep breath. And when you think about creating your most awesome life, say, it would be too much work and I'd be exhausted. And that might resonate for some of you. If that wording doesn't resonate for you, allow yourself to be aware of what comes up for you. Great thing about tapping is, as long as you're aware of what's going on, you can get the benefit from the tapping, even if the words I'm saying aren't a match. So take a deep breath, open your eyes. Scale is 0 to 10. How strong is that fear? 10. All right, where do you feel in your body? Right hand side. All right. Side of the hand. Even though I'm afraid it'll be exhausting, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid I'll be exhausted, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I'm afraid I'll be exhausted. Success sounds great, but exhausting. And by the time I get there, I'll be too tired to enjoy it. So why bother? And there may be all kinds of times where I stop myself, not because I'm lazy, but because I'm protecting myself. And even though I'm afraid I'll be exhausted, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved, because I choose to be that free. All this fear that I'll be exhausted. All this fear that I'll be exhausted. Success is so much hard work. It makes me tired. Showing up and doing things, it's hard work. And to get to the level that I want is going to be a lot of hard work. I look at what it took to get where I am, and I'm already pretty tired. To get to where I want to go seems almost impossible. Nobody has that much energy. To get to what I would really like would put me in the hospital. It's like the things they say about how you have to work hard for money. And there's an exact equation about how much effort you have to put in for every dollar or euro. If that was a mathematical truth, Bill Gates would be dead. A lot of people would have died a long time ago. Because based on my idea about effort to dollar, they couldn't possibly have done it. I'm open to the possibility. My math might be wrong. It might be possible to be very successful and actually be more energized. Wow, I created the life I want, and I have more energy than I've ever had. What if that's how it works? But that's not what I was told. From a very young age, I was taught about how hard you had to work, how exhausting it was going to be, and that's just the way it is. And if I have success and I'm not exhausted, that's going to piss some people off. You're doing it wrong. You're cheating. You don't look exhausted enough. You must have cut some corners. Because I had to do it the hard way. If it was my parents who told me I couldn't have what I want, I have this programming that says, Honor your mother and your father. And all the crap they tell you. Even if it ruins your life. Even if I'm sad and broke. I can say to my parents, I honored you, Mom and Dad. Thanks a lot. I choose to be open to the possibility that the best way to honor my parents is to be the best version of myself, even if they don't understand it. I am a gift that they gave this world. I choose to maximize that gift. Maximizing my gift. And I choose to let it be as easy as possible. I choose to let it be as joyful as possible. I choose to have so much fun doing it that when I reach one goal, I can't wait for the next. That last bit was so fun. What else is possible? And I'm clearing the doubts about this. All those little thoughts that say, yeah, right. You can't trust a guy who taps on his face for a living. Surely, what does he know? Except he's having the time of his life and gets invited to speak in paradise. So maybe he knows something. I choose to be open to the possibility that I could have fantastic success and even more energy than I've ever had. I'm releasing the doubts. All this need to have doubts. Because part of me says, but I've been exhausted in the past. And if I didn't have to be, that just makes me look stupid. I need to be exhausted now to justify being exhausted last year. And I'm clearing that need. I don't need to justify that. I don't need to defend the past. I was doing the best I could at that time, setting myself free to do it differently. In body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. Close your eyes, go inside, and check in with any feeling of it would be too exhausting, or whatever, for each of you, whatever might have been coming up for you. So Caitlin, if that was at a 10 before, what does that feel like? Like a 0? Awesome. Thanks. First round from a 10 to a 0. Now the pressure's on. Wow, we want a miracle with everyone. How are we doing with the translation? Are we okay with the flow? Okay, cool. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Damien. Yeah, if you want to, for those of you who understand me in English but want to repeat it back in Croatian, or if whatever language, feel free to do so. A lot of folks find it easier and more powerful to speak in your native language, because that's where the emotional stuff happened. Most of it is when you were speaking that language. So feel free to repeat out loud in your own language, whatever your first language is, if you'd like to. All right, who's next? What else comes up that stops you from living at a 10? All right, we're done. Yes? Actually, we'll do it this way.
Yeah. So if I'm a light worker and I get my money from light work, What if the dark forces of dark Kabbalah take it away from me? It's a bit intense, I know, but...
We're here for intense. So,
since we were talking about this today, so...
yeah. So, close your eyes, take a deep breath. No. It's never too much. With your eyes closed, say, money is bad. And let that rattle around inside. And notice on a scale of 0 to 10, how true that feels. Don't judge it. Don't force yourself to say, oh, no, I have no beliefs about that. Take a moment to feel what goes on inside you. And notice where there might be some aspect that money is bad. So if I have it, bad things will happen. Scale of 0 to 10, how strong does that feel? What does that feel like for you? Scale 0 to 10.
8.
An 8. Where in your body do you feel it? Chest. Okay. I love tapping about money. Not because I'm one of these prosperity gospel people who's like, everybody should be rich. You should all have 2 private jets. I don't care how much money you have as long as you're taken care of. The reason I love tapping about money is because so many people believe that money is bad. Who's ever heard money is the root of all evil? It's not even the correct translation. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. It's greed. It's not money. Money is just a form of, a symbol of exchange of energy. It's what people do with the money and people's thoughts about money. But money in and of itself is not bad. But because we have these thoughts that money is bad, we stop ourselves from sharing our gifts. Because if I go out and I really share my gifts, I'm likely to make more money. And the dark Kabbalah and all of that stuff. And so what happens? We limit how much we share our gifts. That's what I won't stand for. It's for me. So the reason I love tapping about money is I want you to clear anything that stops you from sharing your gifts as profoundly as possible. So if you have a belief that if I have more money, there will be dark forces, so I have to withhold my gifts to avoid having that dark money, yeah, let's clear that stuff out. So close your eyes, take a deep breath again. And again, check in with any thoughts about money. That it's bad, that it's not safe. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong that discomfort might be. Notice in your body where it might be. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. Even though I've been taught that money is bad, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I've been taught that money is bad, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I've been taught that money is bad, it's the root of all evil. It brings in the dark Kabbalah. And all of these nasty things happen. So I better not have much. How much is safe to have? The amount that I have right now. Easy test as to how much money you think is okay. Check your bank account. And even though I'm afraid money is bad, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who contributed to this belief. Because I choose to feel that free. I'm going to give you a quick thing about EFT. Sometimes when I say a phrase, you might say, oh, I don't want to say that out loud because then I'll manifest that. If I feel like I don't believe money is bad, and I'm repeating, saying this fear that money is bad, now I'm going to create that belief. Don't worry about it. If you have your kitchen counter and you spill coffee on it, and you're wiping it up and you're saying coffee, it's great. If you start saying orange juice, you're not going to now have coffee and orange juice on your counter. If your countertop is clean, and you are wiping it and saying coffee, you are not magically going to put coffee there. It's just going to keep getting cleaner, no matter what you're saying. Understand? So don't feel you have to say it out loud, but don't be afraid of saying it out loud. And very often people will stop themselves from saying, it's like, I don't want to put that energy out there. It's like, but then you may not be allowing yourself to clear it. I've been tapping for 25 years. I've tapped with folks on all kinds of issues. I have never taken on somebody else's issues because I was saying those words. I promise, as you're clearing it out. So give yourself permission to be open to the possibility of, well, I don't think I have that, but just in case I might have a belief that money is bad. Make sense? Okay. All this possible belief that money is bad. Any thoughts that money might be bad? And it begs the question, how much money is bad? Because I have some money. I didn't get here for free. So I've allowed some money in my life. How did I decide how much was safe? How much is okay? It's an arbitrary number. I might look online or watch the news and see unfortunate things happening and say it's the billionaire's fault. So that's the magic number. As soon as you make $1 billion, you become a bad person. For some of us, based on our beliefs, it's just $1 million. For some of us, it's $1,000. There's no real number. Because there are billionaires out there doing a lot of good. It's not the money. It's fear. Money is not the root of all problems. Fear is the root of all problems. That's why money can't make you happy. That's why we see so many people who have a lot of money and they're still miserable. And because they're miserable, they're doing awful things. The money didn't make them happy. But it's not the money making them unhappy. Because there are broke people doing terrible things. And I don't say to myself, oh, poverty is the root of all evil. I need to make sure I have lots of money so that I don't do those bad things. Money is not the problem. So I'm clearing money from that. Releasing this belief that more money would make me a bad person. That more money would bring bad things into my life. Because in this world, unfortunate things happen. Tragedy happens. To rich and poor. It's not the money. I'm clearing this old programming. All this old programming that money is the problem. All this old programming that money is bad. Because that stops me from sharing my gifts. If I really allowed myself to share my gifts and be more successful, more people are going to pay me. And they might pay me more money. And then I'll have more money. And part of me says, that would be bad. So I shortchange myself, and I rob the world of my gifts. How is that more noble? How does that make me a better person? It doesn't make me a bad person, but it doesn't make me a better person. And I'm processing all of these old beliefs. All these old beliefs that money is somehow bad. That it'll make me a bad person. I'm letting that go. Releasing it at a cellular level. And all the way back through my past. Back through my childhood, when I first heard all this nonsense about money. Back through any past lives where I experienced pain around money. Allowing myself to get clear. It is not the money. It's people's fears. I'm open to the possibility that if I allowed myself more money, I could go spread my light in more places. So if I'm opposed to the darkness, I want to be as light as possible. And I'm setting myself free. All these fears around money. All these doubts around money. Changing my mind about that. Money is just a source of a form of exchange. I get more money for more service. So if I have a lot more money, I could be doing a lot more service. I choose to feel really good about that. That feels like a light force. I choose to feel really good about that. Releasing any remaining negativity. Setting myself free to feel good about money. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Go inside. And imagine, well, first, feeling what goes on inside and say, money is bad. And if that was an 8 before, what is that? 0. But, because we're going to be tapping those butts off.
Not about the money. It's about the actual fear of visibility, because if I will, but it is connected. I thank you for the pattern, because what was funny, why was I so shocked? Because I'm a money coach among all things, so I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But it's
Very common. Very common.
But I never connected that to things, because if I have more money, people will find about me, and then maybe, you know, I will be on a target and then stuff like that. So yeah, fear of visibility.
Excellent. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And imagine yourself having whatever success that you'd like to have, and, you know, professional success, personal success, whatever it might be. And allow yourself to be aware of any sense that this makes you more visible, that more people see you. And say, it's safe to be seen. And let that rattle around inside and notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how true that feels. For some folks, it can be a 0. I barely made it into this group today. I was afraid people would notice me. So allowing yourself to be aware of well, do this. Feeling what goes on inside your body. Notice what you feel physically and what you feel emotionally. And let your body answer this, maybe even before words or pictures might come to mind. Finish the sentence. If I'm seen, ... And just notice what come up. You may have memories or beliefs. You may just have a physical sensation. It's like, wow, I don't know what it's about, but I get a knot in my stomach, or I feel some tension in my shoulders. Notice what you're afraid would happen if you were seen. I'm afraid that ... Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong that feels. Notice where in your body you're feeling it. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. Even though it doesn't feel safe to be seen, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though it doesn't feel safe to be seen, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though it doesn't feel safe to be seen. And part of me might be saying, it's not about what it feels like. It's not safe to be seen. It's just a fact. Because when they can see you, they can hurt you. But if I stay hidden, they can't hurt me. I'm playing the ultimate game of hide and go seek. And I'm winning. It's not great for my bank account or my love life, but I feel safer. And even though it doesn't feel safe to be seen, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved in this. Even people I felt hurt me. Because I choose to be that free. All this fear of being seen. Going through all the different points now, side of the eye. All this fear of being seen. It just seems so dangerous. If they can see me, they can hurt me. If I stay hidden, then I'm safer. I can't stay completely hidden. I have to buy groceries. I have to pay the rent. I have to be seen to some extent. So I minimize the danger. I do just what I can get away with. But if I allowed myself to be more successful, that would mean more visibility. And I'm so afraid of that. Not because I'm bad or stupid, not because I'm weak or lazy, but because I have old programming, things that have been said to me, things that I've experienced, that have told me that I'm not safe when I'm seen. Maybe as a child. When I was seen, I got hurt. And I learned real well how to hide. And I choose to love and appreciate those parts of me that are still hiding in order to protect myself. Helen Keller once said, security doesn't exist in nature. Playing it safe is no safer than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. I get to decide how much of that I go for. But the truth is, life happens. Whether I'm out here in front of a lot of people or sitting at home by myself. And the end is going to come. Sorry to break it to you. We're not at the level of evolution yet where we are immortal. So there's going to be an end. What am I going to do before then? I'm setting myself free to live my most awesome life. And if other people see me living my awesome life, maybe instead of hurting me, they'll be inspired by me. Instead of saying, oh, let me hurt that person, they'll say, ooh, I'll have what you're having. Because anyone who would want to hurt me is suffering from a love deficiency. So what they need is more love. I can send it from a distance. I can keep my safe distance. But the more I allow myself to be who I'm meant to be, to do what I'm meant to do, to shine my light as brightly as possible, the more I send love to those people. And then why on earth would they hurt me? A good offense is the best defense. Processing all this fear. Clearing all this fear. All this fear that if I'm seen, I'll be hurt. All this need to play small. I choose to love and appreciate those parts of me that are trying to protect me at the expense of my health, wealth, and happiness. I have been doing the best I could. My life is made up of my choices. And I've been making the best choices I could based on what I believe is safe. And because of some of my past fears, my choices have been very limited. I'm giving myself greater freedom to make better choices, maybe bigger choices, maybe bolder choices. I'm not required to be an international celebrity. But if that's what life wants from me, who am I to deny life? I'm giving myself permission to feel safe. And people will judge me, and that's their problem. I don't need to worry about their judgment. It's happening all the time anyway. There's a bunch of people in this space right now. Even though they're looking at Brad, I know they're judging me. They're looking out of the corner of their eye, saying, look at what that person's wearing. And the way their hair is done, I can't believe they allowed themselves to be seen. Some people were being judged all the time. As someone once said, what other people think of me is none of my business. I'm here to live my best life, to do the most good I can do. And the more people who see me, the more good I get to do. And I want to do as much good as I can. So it's good to be seen. It's good to be seen. I'm allowing myself to feel that in my body. I'm allowing myself to be excited about it. The more people who see me, who see my light, the better the world gets. I hope all 8 billion people see me. Because my light is going to make them better, is going to make them feel better. I choose to feel so good about being seen. I'm allowing myself to feel really good about that. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Go inside, follow your breath through your body, notice what's going on in there, and say, it's safe to be seen. Hopefully that feels safer. And, you know, again, peeling the layers of the onion as we tap, notice some other thought. Maybe a particular memory comes up, like, oh my goodness, I remember this time when I was in the 3rd grade and such happened. You know, I was up in front of the class and I was giving a report and I messed up and everybody laughed at me and I felt terrible. Whatever it might be, and then you can tap on that, because whatever happened, whether it happened in this lifetime, another lifetime, on another planet, wherever it might have happened, it only matters that it's right here in our bodies. We think of things we want to do, we try to move forward towards that, and it's like there's an electric fence around our comfort zone, and we get shocked and we get backed off, and that's in our body. Whether it happened to us or someone else, it's just about how we feel, and the tapping is cutting the wires so that we then have that freedom to move forward. I'll tell you a quick story in terms of being seen. Several years ago, Facebook asked me if I would post some videos, if they could post my videos more widely on the platform. And they were going to pay me to do that. It's like, wow, you're going to share my work and you're going to pay me to do that? That sounds great. Just make sure that when you post it, you put in the caption an explanation of what I'm doing. And I didn't know when they were going to do this. And Christy and I were at some event, and we were had gone someplace, and we were coming home, and we're sitting in the airport, and just biding our time before our flight. And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I have hundreds of messages coming in on Facebook. And some of them were really nasty, because Facebook had posted a video of mine without an explanation of what I was doing. So people all around the US were now seeing me doing this without an explanation, particularly people in the Bible Belt. And I got a lot of negative comments, I mean, some really nasty comments about, what kind of idiot I am and stuff like that. I didn't count them one by one, but I figured I probably got around 200 or 300 really nasty comments. I picked up 5,000 new followers on Facebook and got comments from people saying, I don't know what you're doing, but I feel so much better. I will take the 200 to 300 nasty comments to be able to make a difference to 5,000 people. And I hope that you'll be willing to do the same with whatever your gifts and talents are. Because there's going to be criticism, there's going to be judgment, but there's also people out there waiting for you to shine your light, right? So we just say, okay, what is that fear inside? What am I afraid is going to happen? I might get judged, I might get killed. I'm going to die at some point anyway. I want to live the best life I can for whatever time I might have. So, quick check on time. Okay, we're at the halfway mark. So I was asked to give folks a break. So let's take it's 4:25. So let's take 15 minutes. So at 4:40, come back in. Because I want to do as much tapping as I can. We have a lot more to do. After the break, we're going to do a guided imagery, some meditation. I started out as a hypnotherapist before I got into tapping, and I still love to do that. So please be back on time, because otherwise then you miss the beginning. So feel free to take a break. All right. So I started out, I was going to say, I started out as a hypnotherapist. Real quick rundown. I actually started out as an actor. Traveled the world doing theater, studied acting in London, traveled around the world doing theater, moved to Hollywood to be a movie star, as one does. Met my wonderful wife and fell in love. We got married, and when the first child was on the way, I thought, I might need a backup career. I often like to say, use the old joke. I don't know if it's a joke that's ever used in Croatia. I'm not a doctor, but I played one on TV. I did. Played a doctor on Days of Our Lives. I saved Sammy's life. Sorry about that. So I thought, I might need a backup career, and I saw an ad for hypnotherapy school, and I thought that would be a cool job. Not exactly a steady income, but it was something. And started doing that and was pursuing the hypnotherapy career while still pursuing my acting career. And then a couple years later, when our second child was on the way, I realized that as much as I loved acting, doing personal development work was my calling. It's like, this is what I'm here for. So we packed up the kids and moved out of Los Angeles, moved to Northern California. And through some other hypnotherapists, I heard about this energy psychology thing. There's this conference going on in Las Vegas, and there's this guy tapping on his face. And I know for some of you, the first time you saw it tapping, it might have been, oh, that's really weird, I'm not doing that. You have to understand, as an actor, especially as an actor who had gone to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College, yes, really, this was not the strangest thing I'd ever done at that time. So I might have been a little more open-minded than the average person. And when he had, Gary Craig was teaching this, and he had us tapping on chocolate cravings, and I went from being a chocoholic who wanted to eat the chocolate at an 8 out of 10 to not being able to eat the chocolate for 2 years after a couple of minutes of tapping. I realized there was, I mean, at that time I didn't know it would be 2 years. And don't worry, I got better. Good thing as I'm on my way to Belgium from here. But fell in love with this process, started integrating it into my sessions, and little by little they became tapping sessions primarily, still with guided imagery. And I don't usually call it hypnosis, I just call it guided imagery because I'm not doing it in a therapeutic way with what the client is saying necessarily. So, but I still love the process. It's so nurturing in so many ways. And it's a good break for processing all the stuff with the tapping. So what I'd like you to do is get yourself comfortable. Rearrange your pillows. Yeah. Get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now, just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body. So that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are. This unique expression of divine light and love that you truly are. Allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face. Flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. That healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing. And allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much. Going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards. 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Just allowing yourself to relax, focusing only on the sound of my voice and the words that I'm saying. Any other sounds that you're hearing are gentle reminders to relax and go deeper. Deeper, deeper. As that healing shower continues down your legs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Now, each and every time you hear me say the word deep sleep, with your permission, and only with your permission, you allow yourself to return to this depth or even deeper, 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 quickly, soundly, deeply. And the physical body relaxes. And with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of calm well-being of body and mind. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place. Not too difficult right here. Allowing yourself to imagine a place where you feel present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of creation. Wherever that might be for you. Could be a place that you know. Could be a place in your own imagination. Some place where you allow yourself to be present to that beauty, that abundance. Some place where you allow yourself to remember that it is here for you as much as anyone else. We can all see that here this week. You can go down and stand and look out over the Adriatic and take in that magnificent beauty. And the universe lets it be there for you. It doesn't ask what your health is like. It doesn't ask you how much money you have in your bank account. It's the universe letting you know that you are worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer. Even with each breath you take, every time you inhale, you're asking for oxygen. And every time the universe says yes, the universe is letting you know that you are worthy and deserving of that. Take a big, deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. And just notice that you asked for more, and the universe said yes. The universe just lets you know that you are worthy and deserving of even more. So allowing yourself to feel good about that. And in this beautiful place, allow yourself to be aware of a light inside. It might be in your heart. It might be in your gut. Just notice this healing, loving light somewhere in your body. And with each breath you take in, just like a flame is fed by oxygen, allowing that light to grow with each breath. Growing and expanding, filling your torso. That light flowing down through your legs into the earth. Up into your shoulders, out through your arms and out through your fingertips. Up through your neck and your head. Until every part of you is filled with this beautiful, loving, healing light. To the point where your physical body can't contain it and it radiates out from you. That magnificent light flowing through your pores, radiating out through your body. And you might imagine there's other people there in this beautiful place, and imagine sending them light. They may be radiating some light already. They may seem to have a lot of darkness. They have a light deficiency, so sending them light. You can send it from a safe distance, radiating that light towards them, and then noticing that they become more light, and they shine more brightly. And they radiate that out to other people as well. So just imagine looking around as you're radiating this light, and it's lighting up other people, and they're lighting up other people. And it spreads. As you do that, imagine floating up from your body. So you rise up above the sphere, and you look down, and you see where you're radiating this light and lighting up other people, and all these lights are spreading. You see it spreading across whatever area you're in. For right now, spreading across Pine Beach. Spreading across Croatia. As you float up and up and up and looking down and seeing where you had been shining your light and spreading that, seeing that light spreading more and more across Croatia, across the Balkans, across Europe. Flows down across the Mediterranean, across Africa, all the way over to China, up into Russia, across the Atlantic Ocean to the United States, as you float up and you just see how that light is spreading all around the world. Imagining the entire planet becoming luminous. All that light clearing out the darkness. And allowing yourself to feel good about how you radiating your light contributes to that. And that helps you shine even more brightly. And allow yourself to feel really good about that. Knowing that you are doing good in the world right now. And allowing yourself to hold on to those good feelings in every fiber of your being as you allow yourself to float back down into your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before. Feeling much more luminous. Feeling really good about sharing your light with the world. Feeling excited about that. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward into an ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. Now I go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all of these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level, so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and welcome back. How we doing? We have some problems with the sound system. No worries. Do you want to do the thing in where folks who aren't comfortable with English gather around you and do you want to do it that way? So if you're not comfortable with English, well, really no point in me saying that. Even if you don't understand, the tapping is going to benefit, but I want folks to get as much out of this as they can. And that's fine. All right, we good? Let's get back into it. So, again, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And allow yourself to be aware of what's going on inside, following your breath through your body, noticing what you feel physically and what you feel emotionally. And again, think about what life at a 10 might look like. Again, magnificent, awesome, fantastic. What you believe would be your most ideal life. You don't have to get it right, just what you think right now might be ideal. And imagine living that life and say, it's safe for me to have this. You can go ahead and say that out loud. It's safe for me to have this. And let that rattle around inside. And allow yourself to be really honest with yourself as to how true that feels. And do not judge yourself harshly if the number is lower than you'd like it to be. Just notice, oh, isn't that interesting? We resist seeing this so often. We insist, no, no, I absolutely want this. And so that's why we don't see our resistance, and so we don't move forward, because we insist that there's nothing stopping us. So giving yourself permission to look at, where might I be stopping myself? Think about an action that you could take, maybe while you're still here at Pine Beach, maybe over the next week. Some action that you could take that would move you closer to a 10. Imagine yourself taking that action and say, it's safe for me to take this action. And without judgment, just notice how much resistance you might feel towards it. And allow yourself to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Why couldn't or shouldn't I be, do, or have what I say that I want? Just getting curious. Where do you stop yourself from having more money, from having better health, from having more loving relationships, from being happier? Whatever you want to focus on, ask yourself, why not? And just be open to what comes up. Notice what you feel in your body, how strong it might be from 0 to 10, and notice any thoughts, beliefs, or memories that might come up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't do this thing, why you couldn't or shouldn't have what you want, why you might be holding on to this discomfort. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. And who's next? Who has something that that's coming up? Oh, we're done.
What just came up for me is that I'm a mother of 2, and part of what's holding me back to living exactly the way I like, which involves a lot of travel and things like this, and trainings, and just traveling around the world, there is guilt around that. A good mother, which I know I am, yet a perfect mother would always want to stay with her children and put herself second. There's something in...
According to who?
I don't know. So guilt, I think, is something that came up for not to go for what would be my perfect life.
Who feels guilty living your best life? Who feels guilty having all the money that you want? Boy, would I feel guilty if I had the money that I want. And the rest of you are lying. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine life at a 10, and just notice how guilty you feel about having it so good. Notice where you hold that in your body. Notice the thoughts, beliefs, and memories that come up. Remember who told you that a perfect mom completely sacrifices herself. And just notice where you feel that in your body. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. And if you're willing to let go of some guilt, let's do some tapping. Even though I'd have to feel guilty, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I would have to feel guilty if I succeeded, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I would have to feel guilty if I succeeded. If I created my ideal life, it would come at the expense of other people. And that's wrong. I should sacrifice myself for others. And if I don't, if I spend a moment thinking of myself, that's bad and wrong, and I'm obligated by law to feel guilty. So the more I try to think of my best life, the more guilt I feel. And I stop myself. And I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved. Because I choose to be that free. All this guilt that I might feel. Side of the eye, all this guilt that I'd have to feel. All this guilt that I'm already feeling. Because as long as I'm feeling guilt, that's okay. If I do leave the kids behind, I can say to them, it's okay, kids, because mommy feels really guilty. And that makes up for the fact that she's not here. I can imagine them at home right now saying, yeah, mom's not here, but at least she's feeling guilty. So I feel okay about it. No one feels better because of our guilt. And I might say to myself, you don't know my family, Brad. There are people in my family who thrive on my guilt. They insist that I feel guilty. Nothing makes them happier than my guilt. And I choose to process that because it's nonsense. They might feel self-satisfied. They might feel self-righteous. They might feel vindicated. But it ain't happiness. What they're feeling is not happiness. An uncomfortable feeling like guilt cannot cultivate a positive feeling like happiness. So I'm not doing them any favors. If I'm going to go, I choose to go without guilt because the guilt isn't serving them. And there may be times where I don't go. But that wouldn't be 100% of the time. Who told me that a perfect mom or whatever never thinks of themselves? It's physically impossible. I gotta eat. I gotta breathe. There are things I need to do. If I gave of myself 100%, I'd be dead. There's a very good reason why they say, when I get on an airplane, put your oxygen mask on your own face first. It's not because airlines are evil. You should all be selfish. Take care of yourself and screw everybody else. They say put your mask on first before helping others. They also don't say put your own mask on first and feel really guilty about doing so, and then help others. There isn't time for guilt at that point. Because if I put their mask on first, it may be the last good thing I ever do. I put the oxygen mask on my own face first so that I can do good for others later. I'm allowing myself to be clear about that. Self-care is not selfish. It allows me to do more good for them. So if I'm leaving my kids or whoever, I can say I'm doing this for all of us. The good that I do for myself is good for you too. Now, I don't want to kid myself. 5 years later, hey kids, I'm home, did you feel better? There is a perfect balance for all of us between work and family. And I'm finding that balance. I don't need guilt for that. But I love and appreciate those parts of me that have been making me feel guilty, believing that that was necessary. So that when I'm here in paradise, enjoying the company of friends, I can say, it's all okay because I feel guilt. Guilt does not make me more noble. And it limits my light. I'm clearing the guilt so I can shine my light more brightly for my kids and everyone else. I might feel guilty about having more money. There are people in poverty. There are people starving. Who am I to have abundance? I should feel guilty about that. And since guilt is uncomfortable, maybe I'll just avoid it altogether. So if people are starving in Africa, I'll send them a letter. It really sucks what you're going through. I just want you to know I'm limiting my abundance as well, so that I know at least something of what you're going through. I might get a letter back. Knock that crap off. Make money and send some. Your poverty doesn't help us. There's nothing noble about your suffering. We need real help. Your limitation doesn't do it. I cannot be poor enough to make anyone wealthy. I can't feel bad enough to make anyone happier. But I can clear all that stuff, shine more brightly, and that benefits everyone. And as I get more and more clear inside, I'll get more and more clear about what's right for me. How much time traveling feels right. And I don't want to teach my kids, sacrifice everything, so that when you're a grown-up, you don't get to have a life either. I want to show them what the best life looks like. And I'll get more and more clear about what that looks like. I'm getting more and more clear about what my best life looks like. And I'm setting myself free to do what it takes. Taking those actions that get me the results I want. Or at least the results I think I want. And then I'll figure it out. Maybe that's not what I wanted. Life is an experiment. And I'm finding out. But I can't figure it out if I sit around waiting for the perfect answer. It took Edison 1,000 tries to get the light bulb. What if he had sat there and said, I'll try when I know the right way. Life doesn't work that way. I'm giving myself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, to not get it right. And I don't have to feel guilty about that. Because what I do for myself in a healthy and positive way benefits others. One person's highest good doesn't come at the expense of other people's highest good. If it's coming at the expense of someone else's highest good, it might not actually be my highest good. And I'm figuring that out. And if I'm sacrificing myself, and I know that what I'm doing doesn't feel like it's for my highest good, it's not for their highest good either. I'm figuring it out. And I'm allowing myself to love myself in the process. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. With your eyes closed, just allow yourself to imagine your ideal life and say, I should feel guilty about this. And just notice what that feels like. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. How's your guilt doing? Well, you should feel at least a 1. I mean, come on. Can't feel perfectly free. I mean, that's not fair. What else? Who's next? Yeah?
Sorry, after I did the first round of tapping with everyone, it's that it can't happen that quickly, or it's not that possible to like change overnight, or like, you know, it takes time. So I'd love even that to be combined into someone else's or something.
So in terms of setting ourselves free and being more luminous, how long does it take? If I asked everyone here, everyone has a different number. How long does it take to become a millionaire? You know, how long does it take to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube? I think Cristiano Ronaldo did it in 3 hours. I'm at 18 years and not even halfway there yet. So there is no actual number. All of these things are beliefs about how long things take. You know, we have all kinds of stories of instant transformations. You know, there are people with split personalities who one personality has green eyes and the other personality has brown eyes. So physiological changes that happen in moments. And that's the sort of thing that normally would say, well, that doesn't happen in any amount of time. A change like that can't happen. Different personalities, one has diabetes, the other one doesn't. So what we think of as, well, this is how it is, ain't necessarily so. So in terms of how long something takes. Now, things can take time. We look at nature and we don't plant a seed and it immediately shows up. So we never know how long it's going to be. Some of you may have heard me talking at the end of the break about how I tap every day. It's not that I wake up in a bad mood every day and need to tap right away. It's that I always want to clear any resistance I might have to things being better. So in terms of growth and how long it takes for things to change, it may be that a universal law is that for this to go from here to here is going to take 5 minutes, 5 years, 5 decades. I can't control the universe's timeline, but I can control, for me, if it's possible for it to go in 5 minutes, and it's my resistance, I want to be clearing that. But I want to also then clear any impatience. Because if it is something that the universe says it's going to have to take 5 years, and I'm like, no, it's got to take 5 minutes, I'm in for a world of hurt. So it's like, I'm going to clear whatever is going on for me that might be slowing things down. I choose to be patient with how long it takes, but I choose to clear anything on my part that might be slowing it down. And loving myself in the process, because anything I'm doing to slow it down, again, self-sabotage is misguided self-love. Anything I'm doing, if I'm dragging my feet, it's because some part of me says, no, I'm not ready yet. For a while, I had a talk show called Get Ready, because I love this. There's a, ready, willing, and able. Things show up for us when we're truly ready. Hamlet said, the readiness is all. So the question is, why am I not ready? So close your eyes, take a deep breath. And think about what you really want. Maybe it's a particular goal. And feeling what goes on inside, say, I'm ready for this. And just notice what goes on inside, where there might be some resistance, some doubt. And it could be the belief that I'm not ready that says, well, and that's why it has to take 10 years. Because that's how long it's going to take for me to get ready. And at the end of 10 years, well, 15 years sounds more reasonable. Go ahead and open your eyes. Even though I might not be ready yet, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I might not be ready yet, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I might not be ready yet. And so I'm slowing things down. And that's why it takes so gosh darn long. And I'm impatient for this thing that I'm making myself wait for. Maybe. And even though I'm not sure I'm ready, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who contributes to these fears. Because I choose to be that free. All this feeling that I'm not ready. All this fear of reaching those goals. All this fear of being there. And so I slow myself down. Sometimes. And some things take longer. And I'm never really going to be sure how long something should take. But I can look at all kinds of different goals. And I can see different people who achieved that goal. Some have done it in a very short amount of time. Some people take a long time. There's no one right way. The question is, how am I going to feel about that? Can I allow myself to be happy, even if it takes a long time? That's why some people don't like to set goals. What if I don't reach it? What if I don't reach it in the time that I want to? Then I have to feel bad. I'm required by law to feel disappointment. And I'm such a good rule follower. I have felt all kinds of disappointment about goals. So part of me says, I'm a good person because I'm following the rules. And I'm letting that go. Setting myself free from attachment to the outcome. It's often been said, it's the journey, not the destination. If I allow myself to enjoy the journey, I'm not going to worry about how long it takes. So I'm allowing myself to enjoy the journey, while also clearing any fear and resistance. Because I might be slowing myself down. Part of me might say, it's got to take a long time, because I'm not ready for it yet. I'm giving myself permission to be as ready as possible, because I got stuff to do. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. This amusement park is going to close at some point. How many rides can I get on before it closes? I may not be able to ride them all. And I choose to make peace with that. There isn't a prize at the end. You rode 15 rides. You go to heaven. You only went on one ride. I'm going to show you the door downwards. I don't have to achieve anything. I'm giving myself permission to see what's right for me. And I'm clearing the fears that might be in the way. Clearing those at a cellular level and all the way back through my past. Back through all the times in my life where I somehow got the message I shouldn't get there, or at least not too quickly, and it should take this amount of time. And I've gotten that message from some people. And they know how long it takes to reach that goal, because that's how long it took them to reach that goal. And if I reach it faster, man, are they going to be angry. They're going to tell me I did it wrong. That's not my problem. I don't need to justify anybody else's situation. What they lack, what they missed out on. I cannot limit myself enough to make things better for anybody else. So I'm setting myself free. Releasing the attachment to the outcome. Here's where I want to go. I'm going to head in that direction until a better direction shows up. Because sometimes it does. And I'm going to keep moving forward. And I choose to feel as good as possible on the way. Because why not? Even if I never reach that goal, I'm going to enjoy the ride. Setting myself free to feel good. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, go inside, and just notice what's going on in there. Yeah, take a deep breath, open your eyes. Feel better? from a 3 to a 10, feeling better. So a lot of people say, oh, you know, goals are bad because, you know, then you're going to feel disappointment. What if you didn't have to feel disappointed? You know? Don't put things on your vision board because then you're going to feel bad if you don't reach it. What if you don't? My biggest goal, the one that I had the most fun with, is I imagine myself speaking at the Royal Albert Hall in London. So actually, on my watch, I have this picture of me in front of the audience at Royal Albert Hall. I have that on my computer screen. If it never happens, I'm going to have an awesome life. I'm not sitting there going, man, boy, if I never speak at the Royal Albert Hall, I'll have really screwed up in this lifetime. No, it's just fun to think about. It's inspiring, but it's not about the goal. It's like, oh, that's fun to think about, and it gives me a direction. So, you know, finding things that take us in directions, but not worrying about it. Gary Craig, the founder of EFT, said, dreams don't always come true, but they take us in directions. That was true for me. My dream was to be an actor. It took me to LA, where I met Christy, and then I had to go and get another job, and I found hypnotherapy, and now I get to do this. And there is not an actor out there in the world who I would trade places with. There is no career out there, no movie star where I go, yeah, to have their life, I would give up what I'm doing. But I couldn't have done this. I mean, who knows? I have no idea. That's at a higher pay grade than mine. But following the dream of acting is what got me here. So we pursue, it's like, this feels like the right direction. I'm going to go in this direction, and then I might find something else. Make sense? Yes.
Hello, I'm Rashida. I write it on this. I work at the municipality home of The Hague.
The Hague? Ooh.
Yes, Netherlands. And since I'm working 40 years, 40. And since June, I've been the vice chair of the work council. And I fight for those people who are drivers, catering staff, print service workers. They are 30 years, 26 years, they are working there, and they don't have raised the money. Mm-hmm. But the management have that, and I'm just fighting for this. Mm-hmm. Beyond my official role, I strive to give a voice to hidden poverty in the city, bringing light to the quiet struggles many face. In my personal life, I'm also navigating challenges of my own. I want to always have the energy and the honesty, staying true to myself and to the people I stand for.
Excellent. I'm in favor of that. What gets in the way?
Sometimes the management told me, just go to holiday. You are working too hard. Go, let's now. I said to them, but I have the energy. I can work 7 days of work. I've done week. I've no problem. Go. Okay, I've been here. I've been 1 month here, and in the family I don't have my brothers and sisters. The most of them, they are not in the back of me. Some are, but I told them when you don't go for the truth, how you say that, for the honesty, I don't want to contact you. But it's painful. Mm-hmm. That's, yeah. Okay. And I have many of the workers, they are calling me and because they trust me and they are talking all about their problems. And I don't want to get the problems on my shoulder. I want to help them, but not on my shoulder. Yeah, yeah.
Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and everyone go ahead and do the same. And allow yourself to be aware of, from whatever area of life, personal, professional, the outside world, what you pick up on the news, social media, family. Notice how much pain and heaviness you might be feeling. Notice where in your body you might feel it. Scale of 0 to 10, how strong is that for you? On a scale of 0 to 10, how strong is that heaviness and that pain?
In my
Solar plexus? Yeah. 0 to 10, how strong?
now it's because I'm here. It's not so strong. I think 5, 6.
As we've been tapping for a couple of hours. No, I'm feeling great about it. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So for everyone, whatever pain and heaviness you might be holding on to, the opposite of heavy is light, and that's what we're here for at the Luminaries Summit. So close your eyes and allow yourself to be aware of that heaviness. Notice where you feel it in your body, scale of 0 to 10, how heavy it feels. And feeling what goes on inside your body. See how your body might respond even before words come to mind. Say, I have to feel heavy about this because. If it feels like pain, say, I have to feel pain because. Whatever discomfort is there, allow yourself to be aware of what part of you is saying, well, this is necessary. Just allow yourself to get curious about where you hold on to that pain, that heaviness, that discomfort, and why. And take a deep breath. Open your eyes, and if you're willing to take a load off, even though I feel this heaviness, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel this heaviness, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I feel this heaviness, this pain, this discomfort, because of things that are happening in my life or happening in the world. And as a member of society, I am obliged to feel this pain on behalf of other people. And even though I feel this heaviness, I choose to end completely. Love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who contributes to this, because I choose to feel that free. All this heaviness, all this heaviness, all this burden that I have to carry. We're going through all the points now, so under the nose. All this burden that I have to carry. It's a heavy load. But no one else is carrying it. It's all up to me. I have to bear this weight. I have to feel this pain. There are people out there being taken advantage of. And that's not right. I owe it to them to feel this heaviness. It doesn't make things any easier for them. None of my clients are calling up and saying, I didn't have enough to eat last night, but knowing that you feel this heaviness, it was all okay. I choose to do the good I can do. I'm open to the possibility that I can feel as good as I can in the process, especially if I have hard work to do. With all the darkness that might be out there, it's going to be a lot easier if I feel good when I do the work that I do. And I don't have all the support that I want. People who should support me, but they don't. And part of me says, gotta feel heavy about that. Gotta feel pain about that. Says who? I have all the support I need. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Let it go. I'm just reminding myself that I have all the support that I need. I didn't need my relatives to help me get oxygen. I don't need my boss to help me get oxygen. Getting what I need is between me and the universe. I'm giving myself permission to say yes more often to all the good. I often say yes to the bad because that feels like my fight. I should be fighting. These people need me to fight. They don't need me to feel pain while doing so. And maybe part of me says, if I don't feel their pain, I won't bother to show up. I'll say yes to my bosses. I think I will go on vacation. Screw those other people. That's not my problem. That's not who I am. I can feel joy and still do all the good I can do. I might even do it better. All this belief that I need to be motivated by misery. I need to find what's wrong. Like if I want to be healthier, gotta look at the mirror and beat myself up. If I want to be wealthier, I have to look at my bank account and say, I am so stupid. I am such a loser for not having more money. Oh, good, now I feel motivated to work more. And it usually doesn't work. I'm still out of shape. Still broke. I guess I have to beat myself up even harder. Which robs me of joy and causes me to engage in bad behavior. I'm letting go of the need to beat myself up. Letting go of the need to feel miserable. All this fear that when I reach my goals, I'll lose all motivation. Now that I have what I say I want, why bother? How about because I love what I do? Doesn't matter the goals. Doesn't matter how much money I make. I choose to feel so good about what I do. That's why I do it. I'm giving myself permission to love my life, to love what I do, and that keeps me motivated. I mean, why wouldn't I do it? If I'm doing good in the world and having fun in the process, and it's not always hard, it's not always easy to find the fun, but I can find something to feel good about, then why wouldn't I do it? Setting myself free in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Go inside and just check again with that heaviness and see what that might be feeling like. See if you feel lighter. And again, if just be aware. Sometimes rather than relief, we just get more awareness. It's like, oh, this is what it's really about. Maybe I'm angry about something. Maybe I'm sad about something. So we keep moving these things out of the way. Sometimes when we start tapping, the issue that we're tapping on is not the issue. Very often it's not. I had someone ask me today, they said, they had written to me saying, I'm an EFT practitioner, but have a hard time figuring out what to say for myself. It's like, yeah, because all of your issues are designed to protect you. If I feel like I want to get through this door, there's this door, and what I really want is on the other side, and I want to go through that, but it's locked. Because of my programming, some part of my mind says, well, there's a tiger on the other side of the door. If I believe that there's a tiger on the other side of the door, I'm not going to tell myself what the key is to open that door. So that's when it helps to work with someone else who's not attached to your old beliefs, just your freedom. So, you know, as we're tapping, we're clearing things, whether we're consciously aware of them or not. We're always releasing stuff, always setting ourselves more and more free, to the point where we might have more awareness of, oh, I thought that was a tiger, and without even addressing that door, I might just one day say, oh, I thought there was a tiger there. Oh, there's the key. And I can open that door now because I've cleared something without going at it directly. But there are times where we want to go at something more directly, and we need someone else to guide us in that. So, anyone else? Kimberly?
I'd love to tap on challenges of staying true to myself against what the world says is right or wrong, or appropriate or not, and yeah, just challenges with that, and fears about doing it and the cost.
As long as we're always willing to take the cost. I mean, that's the thing, is we want to be true to ourselves, but we also have to be aware of, and there are going to be consequences, and, you know, I'm being true to myself when I put videos out on YouTube. I cannot ask 8 billion people to say, that's awesome, Brad. I think the tapping on your face is the coolest thing in the world, and you go. Getting comments from people saying you're an idiot is one of the consequences. So it's allowing ourselves to say, is it worth it? Because I can't guarantee that there won't be a cost. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. Yeah. Yeah, it's all for whatever is for our highest good, our best self. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is also being aware, and that's what I was saying earlier about the one person's highest good won't come at the expense of someone else's highest good. But if I'm saying, this is for my highest good, and other people are responding in a way, it's like, this is not for my highest good, I may want to say, maybe I'm kidding myself. You know, if I say it's for my highest good to throw rocks at people, you know, and people are saying, ouch, that hurts, I may want to question, maybe throwing rocks at people isn't for my highest good. And we get more and more clear about that. And it may, but if there are other things that, you know, certain behaviors that we engage in are going to be right for some people and not for some other people. And so we may find, oh, the people that I'm hanging out with are not the people that this is right for, and that's why people move to different places and hang out with different people and things like that. We find our tribe. So it's just allowing ourselves, yeah, for what is for our highest good. So my highest good may be to make changes in myself, and it may be to recognize this is not where I'm meant to be. You know, if you are, for instance, you know, say you're in America and you're a Republican in a group of Democrats, then saying all of your political beliefs is probably not your best self in that group. So it may be, I need to go find a different group. So it may not be that you need to change your beliefs, you just may need to go and be around people that have those same beliefs. It's finding that way. You know, and sometimes we certainly see a lot of people who say, this is what's authentic for me. And this is, you had brought this up too, about staying true and what your truth is. And sometimes we might find out my truth is not actually my truth. And it's something that I had been passed on, and I was told to believe that. So we work through it. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. And just feel what's going on inside as you think about what you feel your truth is, who you think your authentic self is. And we're all works in progress. We're not meant to know it all yet. It's just feeling what goes on inside, and ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What stops me from being my authentic self? And notice that fear. And while we're doing this, so we're at an angel number, 555, which means I have 5 minutes to solve everything. In terms of this as well, with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine a full-length mirror. And looking in that mirror, say, I love myself. And just notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how true that feels. Do not judge yourself harshly if the number is lower than that. Just recognize, oh, isn't that interesting? So this goes along with being our authentic selves. If we love our authentic self, then it's okay if other people aren't on board. It's like, okay, these aren't my people. Most important thing is to love yourself. So just allowing yourself to be aware of where on a scale of 0 to 10 it's true that you love yourself, and to the extent that it might not be a 10, asking yourself, why not? Why couldn't or shouldn't I love myself more fully? Take a deep breath, open your eyes. Even though I have fears about myself, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have fears about myself, I choose to love and honor myself anyway. Even though I have fears about myself, about whether I'm lovable, exactly as I am, whether I'm good enough, whether I'm acceptable. And it's hard to be my authentic self when I'm worried about all this stuff, trying to be what other people want me to be, as though I should be what other people want me to be. And even though I have all these doubts about myself, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved, because I choose to be that free. All right, going through all the points, eyebrow. All these fears about myself. All these doubts about myself. All these doubts about being true to myself. Because when I try to be true to myself, some people say that's wrong. Don't do that. Don't be that person. And that's painful. Or it can be painful. It's not what happens to us that hurts. It's our thoughts about what happened. I'm giving myself permission to be so free that I can be my authentic self. And if someone says that's not appropriate, I can say, well, not for you then. And I still choose to feel good about who I am. And they get to choose who they are. I'm setting myself free from all these fears about myself. All this stuff that makes it hard to be authentic. All these challenges to being true to myself. All these challenges to speaking my truth. and I can't kid myself, there will be consequences, and I get to decide if it's worth it. I can't say to myself, or rather, I can't say to the world, this is who I am, and all 8 billion of you have to agree with it. That ain't gonna work. I choose to be my best self. But 8 billion people are not going to agree about what that is. I might behave in a certain way, and some people will say, that's awesome. You are being your best self. And some other people will say, you are so wrong. You're evil. You're a nut job. When being true to yourself means tapping on your face, some people will say you're a nut job. Some of us are willing to accept that consequence. It pays off for some of us. I'm giving myself permission to make peace with the consequences. Letting go of the need to require anyone else to approve of my best self. It's not their job. So I'm setting myself free to find out what works for me. And if it keeps not working for me, I might be off track. And I can figure that out. And I choose to love myself in the process. I choose to love myself in the process. I choose to love myself right now. With all my imperfections, all of my perfect imperfections, asking myself the question, how much do I love myself? And if it's not at a 10, why not? And part of me might say, oh, you don't know what I've done, Brad. I've done bad things. I can't possibly love myself. I'm not worthy of love because of my crimes against humanity. But the thing is, the only reason I would have committed those crimes is because I doubted how lovable I am. When I truly know how worthy and deserving of love I am, I don't hurt people. I don't need to hurt people. So the best thing I can do for the world and myself is to love myself as much as possible and clear whatever gets in the way. All these reasons why I couldn't or shouldn't love myself. Misunderstandings. Mine or someone else's. Maybe someone told me that I wasn't good enough. People say all kinds of nonsense. Anyone who told me that I'm not good enough was sadly mistaken because they doubted themselves. It didn't feel safe to let me know that I was good enough. And I'm releasing that. Doesn't mean I don't have things to work on. And I choose to get better and better. I'm a work in progress. But I'm inherently good enough. And the universe tells me so. Every time it gives me oxygen. I'm worthy and deserving of love. Not everybody can give it to me. That doesn't mean I'm not worthy of it. If I was if I was here when they were dancing, and I was with a friend who had their who broke their leg, and I said, "Stand up and dance with me," to prove that I'm lovable, I'm in trouble. They're going to have a hard time getting up and dancing. Am I going to say, well, there's proof that I'm not lovable? If I was worthy of love, your leg would instantly heal, and you would dance with me. I'm processing all of this. I choose to love myself, clearing the reasons why I can't. All the fear that that would be arrogant. That's not true. Arrogance is not self-love. Arrogance is a con job. When someone says, I'm so great, and I'm better than you, they're afraid that they aren't. When I know how lovable I am, I see how lovable other people are. I may not like their behavior. I may not agree with their beliefs, but I can see the light inside them. So my self-love is an act of love for others. So I'm clearing the doubts, clearing the fears, all the way back through my past. Wherever I got the idea that I wasn't worthy of love, I'm letting that go from every fiber of my being, because it's not serving anyone. I'm going to do a process where it's a little bit longer, so stay on each point until I tell you to move. So on the eyebrow. I'm now releasing all of the sadness and trauma in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason why I can't love myself. Side of the eye. I'm now releasing all of the anger and resentment in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason for not loving myself. Under the eye, I'm now releasing all the fears and doubts in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason why I shouldn't love myself. Under the nose, I'm now releasing all of the embarrassment and humiliation in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason for not loving myself. Under the mouth, I'm now releasing all of the shame and guilt in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason for not loving myself. Collarbone, I'm now releasing any remaining fear in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason for not loving myself. Under the arm, I'm now releasing all the low self-esteem in all of the roots and the deepest cause of any reason for not loving myself. Yeah, I'm letting that stuff go. It's not serving anybody. Withholding love from myself, doubting that I'm lovable, doesn't help anybody. But when I acknowledge that I'm worthy of love, I find my light. And I share that light. And the world could really use my light. Like, seriously. So I'm clearing what covers up my light. My light is awesome. I'm awesome. And I'm clearing my doubts about that. I'm not perfect, but I am awesome. And I'm allowing myself to know that so that I can share that with the world. I'm clearing the darkness inside of me all the way back through my past, letting it go, rediscovering the light that's always been there, shining that light, lighting up the world. And I am loving myself in the process, in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Thank you so much for being willing to do that. You have a light to shine. The world can really use it. Please and thank you. So keep clearing that stuff out. I recommend tapping on a daily basis. You don't have to do it for hours and hours every day. Sometimes I do. When I tap longer, I feel so much better. The exhaustion thing, I mean, I feel so awesome as I'm tapping. It's like, when I drive to where my family lives, it's about 2.5 hour drive, sometimes I'll just tap the entire 2.5 hours and I show up in such a great mood. Just letting go of all that stuff. So it's just such a simple way to let go of that stuff that bothers us. You know, something's upsetting us. And just going, why can't I allow myself to feel good right now? And you don't have to worry about the words. It's like, I have to know exactly what it is that's bothering me. Oh, I'm just getting curious. Why won't I allow myself to feel good right now? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid would happen if I felt good right now? Just letting it go. Lighten up, share that light, please and thank you.